Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 86, and there are three big events taking place today. First, we return to the Champions League, and we've got the group stage draw coming up at the start of the episode. It's also a League Cup draw on the same day, ironically. We then place West Ham, who are second in the league. They've picked up 6 points from their opening two games. We've only got 4. We've dropped points already. And then third up is transfer deadline day, and we could really do with John Murtaugh taking some action. So if you're looking forward to all of that and you are enjoying the series, please do put a thumbs up on the video. If you missed yesterday's summer special, you can find that in the eye above. There's also links there to the Twitch channel and the football podcast too. Please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on to make sure you don't miss a beat. You can also support the show as a channel member down below, but thank you as always for your incredible support as we get into a new season where we're doing okay at the top, having played 2 of the top sides. But that little lace just to my side there is Crystal Palace, who have persisted with Niko Kovac and are bottom of the league, albeit an all-London bottom 3 at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly they fall from grace without us. But the good news is we have got money in the bank and big draws to look forward to. Let's start off with the Carabao Cup one very quickly. And then before we get to the Champions League one, we'll look at a couple of games off camera and the transfer work that's been done since you were last with me. So let's just draw all the teams for this. It's not the draw we're most excited by today. It is Manchester United away at Premier League Southampton. So not the easiest draw in the world. Our backup team might have to sacrifice that competition. Let's go to the transfers though, because there is an interesting pending deal. And finally, is a centre-half, which our director of football has gone for. Now, it's a bit of an unorthodox one, this, because Xavier Benjamin is playing for Championship side Fulham. He's a very good defender, by the way, and I don't know what they're doing in the Championship with him playing for them. But for 9 million up front, rising to 18 million for less than 50 grand a week, there is a clear emphasis to reduce the wage bill, and it's someone in their mid-20s, which I can get right on board with, given what we've talked about in recent weeks. Deals rejected for Hannibal and Jalocca, but let me show you Benjamin. He's a very good centre-half. He'll fit in, probably better than Ben White. He's a very good backup, and he can play in the cup games too. Plays out from the back, can step into midfield if we need him. Very happy. Good leader too. So not played in the Premier League an awful lot in his career, just the odd little games for Fulham. He had 2 seasons up there, but you can see in the Championship he's just too good. So for us, hopefully he'll become a great signing. In terms of the transfer history, nothing else in terms of ins apart from that backup keeper from Sampdoria. It's fair enough, but the wages are ridiculous. Let's move on though to the outs, because there's been a lot more on that front. So when you were last with me, I think Leon Hopkins was the first one since. Boyce Clark had just left. Hopkins, we played him a couple of times last year. He's gone on loan abroad for a season, as has Gaffrou Diallo, who made a couple of Europa Conference appearances. He's gone to Norwich in the Championship, so pretty good level for him at a young age. Brian Lorena was out on loan last year. He's a good youngster, but he's gone out again, this time to Huddersfield. Timur Erdogan played plenty for us last year. He's gone on loan to Zenit. He's improving, and hopefully European football will help him out. Ross Ferguson, another young player that's gone to Huddersfield. He's a very good one too. But after the other youngsters that have all gone off to Luzern is Rhet Nieto, who is the main man to talk about. He has joined Erdogan at Zenit, and they have got what could be 2/5 of the Manchester United defensive line in the next couple of years. I mentioned last episode the Van der Voort deal, and then the one from Sampdoria we've just seen. They don't make sense when this lad has got a great pathway through. But if he has a good season this year, plays well in Europe, I'm going to force him into the team next season, no matter how it happens. So that's what's been done. I like the approach to the Xavier Benjamin signing. I think it's a pretty clever one. But we've got a bigger fish to fry. The Champions League draw is just around the corner. We're going to have a look at that. We're going to have a look at our 2 results off camera. And then we're going to go into the big game against West Ham. As I said before, we've been fairly fortunate with the games falling at a time where we don't have midweek Champions League football. So although we've dropped 2 points away at Chelsea on the opening day, I'm actually pretty happy with where we are. We battered Arsenal at home, and Mbappe got 2. Sancho and Zolis both scored off the bench. But it's going to get tougher away to West Ham. We struggled at Chelsea in the capital, and it's our last league game before we have to worry about Champions League football. The draw, though, we'll be back in a minute to see who we're facing. Well, right, on cue, John Murtaugh obviously heard me. We've got to play a friendly with Fulham next year. But Xavier Benjamin is in, a squad player for less than 50 grand a week. I think that's a little gem of a signing from the Championship, to be honest. I think the last Fulham to United one like that was probably Chris Smalling, wasn't it? But he was slightly younger at the time. We have got this problem with 25 or more players signed on. I can't put the new third choice keeper in the Premier League squad. I'm going to have to drop out Shirky for Benjamin, who's more important. I'd be tempted to take Ben White out as well, to be honest, because I don't think he's that good. Or maybe he'd get sold now. I don't know. 33, he's past his prime. But the Champions League draw is more important. We'll get to that next. And here it is. Despite years away and being in the Europa Conference, we have got ourselves seeded in pot 1. Don't forget, we've only managed one season in the Champions League. We went out in the last 16 with Crystal Palace. But we left for United before their second campaign. So let's get the first pot drawn and see who else we're going to be facing. So we are Group E. Of course, we couldn't draw City and Liverpool. Dortmund and Sevilla have already come out from pot 2 as well. We are going to get one of Juve, Inter and Real Madrid. I'm not sure there's any good draws out of that. I'd probably pick one of the Italian sides because Real Madrid generally are world beaters in this game. Let's see who it is. It is Juventus who will be playing Manchester United. On to pot 3. So from this one, Atletico Madrid, probably the best side already out of it. Atalanta, Shakhtar and Porto gone as well. Celtic, Lyon, Hertha Berlin and Monaco are the 4. Probably Lyon or Celtic. Celtic would be ideal, let's be honest. It's Hertha Berlin. Not quite what we were looking for. And on to pot 4. Look, we've got to guarantee European football after Christmas, most importantly. So let's hope it's a minnow. Not that there's many in the Champions League. Well, 4 sides we could draw. Zenit would be interesting because they wouldn't be able to play 2 of their back 5. Although that doesn't help the players' development. So I'd like to avoid them. I'd probably like Club Brugge, to be honest, of those. Although I'd fancy United to beat any of them. The team we draw is Zenit. So the Champions League football, the 2 young defenders and goalkeeper have gone out for. They're not going to get 2 of those games. Let's get through it though. It's a fantastic return to Champions League football. And it's some big games against Italian and German giants. I'm sure that'll feature in future episodes. On to the weekend though. West Ham away. We've got more immediate concerns on the domestic front. Fitness test time ahead of the evening game against West Ham. Russell Thompson is limited to 45 minutes action. I had to edit out another thing where I called him Robbie in the last episode, but he's nowhere near the squad at the minute, so we're not going to worry about him for now. Other teams have been in action. Arsenal having a woeful start. Spurs down to 9 men lost at home to Leeds. There's still the same inconsistency. City have battered Brighton, that's a given at home, and Liverpool beaten Burnley, but we really need this to be a title race this season, and I've seen no evidence of it just yet. Let's go and get through the pre-match selection though. Pick our 11 for the game. I don't think we're going to see many changes. If we do, we'll obviously report them here. So no changes to the starting 11 today. The only change to the squad is Xavier Benjamin, who's going to be on the bench. He replaces Magno Luis, who was just there as an extra attacking body. Van der Voort goes down to sub 9. And in midfield, I'm thinking about maybe dropping Rashford out again. Sancho has rediscovered some form this year. But I'm not going to do it from the start. Not before the international break. Let's just try and get the win wrapped up. So a strong West Ham side, as you'd expect up near the top of the league. A lot of strong players from the start of the game. The likes of Onana, the likes of Ostergaard and Luke Thomas. Kai as well. Luca Romero. It's a good team. In terms of our squads, well, we've got a great 11. It's Meslier in goal. Pivati and Guy are the fullbacks with Inacio and Bassone centre-half. And Ponza and Jalocca in the middle with Bruno Fernandes, the skipper, just ahead. And then a front 3 of Yakubu, Mbappe and Rashford. Hopefully able to deliver the goods. We haven't won away from home yet this season. A draw on the road at Chelsea. Wouldn't be the worst result if we got it again. But I wouldn't mind nicking a win. Let's see if we can. Well, early doors, we've got a throw on the left with Pavati in a pretty advanced position. Plays a 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes. Delivers towards Yakubu. Great goalkeeping and Onana in fairness. But Yakubu's such a threat in the air at the back post. I just wish he was fitter. If he had great natural fitness, he'd be one of the best players in the world. As Satriano is in, he got himself at a very good angle there. Not sure what Meslier was doing, but it's a good block in the end, I think by Bassone. And it keeps it at 0-0, but we've got a corner to defend. Mascara takes it. Front post header. Meslier saves again. West Ham have had the better chances so far. With 10 minutes on the clock, it's Inacio with a free kick in his own half. Pavati plays down the line for Rashford. We appear to have caught them out here. Gets into the box unopposed, goes for the shot, which is comfortably wide. Not the kind of quality we've expected over the last year or so. But we are on the front foot again, as Guy has got a throw on the right to Amponza, into Bruno Fernandes on the edge. Lovely pivot and turns to Amponza, whose cross is poor and cleared by the first man. Inacio recycles it though, playing like an auxiliary midfielder there. Jalocca gives it away, but it falls for Pavati on the bounce. And Inacio is going to be forced all the way to his keeper. Not sure why we needed to see that bit, as Pavati on the left, over halfway. Space down the line, instead plays into Fernandes. It's a beautiful pass. He's challenged, it falls for Jalocca though. Out to Yakubu on the right. 2 or 3 in the middle. Back to Gaia. Yakubu again. Can he get the low cross in? He can to Marcus Rashford. Comes from the left. Makes a brilliant run in front of the defenders at the near post. And glances it in to the far corner. 1-0 Manchester United lead. No less than we deserve. Well, half-time. Not a dominant performance. Not a brilliant lung-busting one. But an assured, a confident, a solid one. And we lead 1-0 at the break. We keep the clean sheet, we win again. That's all that matters to keep the ball rolling. Well, 25 minutes to go. It's been a very quiet start to the second half. But we've got some poor marking from a corner there. We're saved by a brilliant Meslier stop. And Rashford gets the rebound away in the nick of time. We're going to make some subs though, because we've got tired legs out there. We've got some poor performances too. Bruno Fernandes, one of them. I'm going to bring on Santiago Casal for him, trying to get the younger ones some football. And Ponza has not been great in the middle, so Johnny will come on for him. And then Mbappe's been poor. Rashford is knackered. I'm going to put Rashford through the middle and Zolis on the left, because that seemed to have worked in the last game. 20 minutes plus stoppages to go. Can we hold on for a crucial victory against one of our top 4 rivals? Well, this would help. We've got a free kick with 12 to go. Rashford plays in Casal, the sub. Not seen much of him in this save so far, as it's headed away by Ben David at the back post. Jalocca picks it up on the left though, plays down the line to Bivati. You wonder how the West Ham fitness compares at the moment. They actually played on Monday night, a bit later than us. They got a slightly younger squad, as Yakubu gets down the right. Good interception from Doku, the sub, and Anana hoofs away, but West Ham have got nothing up front. And we just push teams back. We're relentless as an attacking force. Jalocca wide to Pavati. Hopefully we'll see the best of him in his second season, as his cross perfectly picks out Yakubu, who heads just over the bar. Can't quite direct it into the corner. But it looks pretty comfortable. West Ham haven't really had a sniff second half. One corner from a set piece, but otherwise they've created nothing in open play. And we've got 3 points. What a fantastic result. A performance of champions, you might say, on the road. 7 points out of 9 against 3 of last season's top 7. Very promising signs for the title race ahead. On to transfer deadline day though. I expect it to be a quiet one on the in front, but definitely a bit of deadwood to get out the club. Let's see if John Murtow can do it. We'll be back in a moment to take you through the day. Transfer deadline day, and as always on this screen, Zolis is linked with a big move away somewhere where he probably won't go. We've been linked with West Ham's Luca Romero, and Inter have been linked with Bruno Fernandes. I should just show you in the Premier League as well, talking about AI inconsistency and bottle jobs. Chelsea, the side that finished second last year, one of the best squads in the league, just lost at Sheffield United. They drew against us. They drew their other game, which was against, I'm not sure who. It was at Wolves, so they're out of it already basically. It's Manchester City's resurgence and us. We could do with Liverpool hanging in there, but it's just so inconsistent. It's very hard to take. Let's take part in deadline day though. There's players linked with moves out. We had been requested by our staff meeting to put Voloshin and Shirky on the transfer list. I think they were both loan listed already, so they might be on their way too. And Agumbi was recommended to be loan listed, as he wasn't going to get much football. But let's see who comes in and out. Selly and Boyer's there again, but I don't really know what's going to happen. And our squad's too big. We can't register people, so there's got to be someone going out of the club. Let's take part. 15 hours to go. We'll be back for any news throughout the day. Well, interesting start. We've got a message about Ryan Cherky not being registered, so we are looking at him to go. And what I didn't realise as part of that being transfer listed is that he'd requested to leave the club. He'd had a discussion with John Murtow about being unhappy. And he is now going for either 20 million to Lyon or 14 to Brighton. I'd rather he take the bottom one from those two. There's also offers for a former Brighton player, Ben White, Ajax and Porto in for him. He was on the transfer list already, had been since about April time. And we're going to get a nominal fee for him. But with Benjamin coming in, he's not really needed. So that all makes sense. 14 hours left. Not sure if anything's happening on the Voloshin front, but if we sign anyone even after these two, we can't register someone for the squad, so it's pointless. First deal of the day with 12 hours left. It is Rayan Cherki, who is on his bike. He's gone to Lyon, 20.5 million. And that's one less headache in terms of non-registered players. Let's see if any more leave. 12 hours left. No sign of any ins at all. And the second one is off 2 hours later. Ben White for £4.1 million has gone to Ajax. I'm sure it'll actually be a pretty good fit there. But that does solve a few problems in terms of the squad. If we go to the registration now, I can actually put the third keeper in. I've managed to get the other new signing, Benjamin, in. And we haven't got any gaps left over. So far, that's the perfect day. But I wouldn't mind Voloshin leaving because he's not going to get any game time here. Loan offer for 17-year-old fullback Stephen Redmond, who's a brilliant youngster, but is not going because it's not enough of a wage contribution for John Murtow or the loan manager Matt Hale in this instance. Inter have made an offer for Bruno Fernandes. I know he's ancient now, but we need this to be rejected because there's not really a player that can do what he does in our squad. 5.5 million. I've said this before about him when we were getting offers in January. It's almost better to just let him go for free at the end of the year. He's such a good contributor for us, and hopefully he'll be here for the rest of the season. 8 hours left. Loan offer for Jalocca with 40% of the wages. What is it with the Italian clubs doing this for some of our star midfielders? He shouldn't be going anywhere. He's absolutely brilliant. Probably the only successor to Fernandes we've got, and the director of football has rightly rejected it. We're not going to have to worry about the media too much. There's 8 hours left, and I think this is going to be a quiet finish to the day. 5 hours to go. John Murtow is surprising me because he's made an offer. We've received a loan bid for Casal, which I'm a little bit worried about. But I'm intrigued to see who this is. Emre is the player. Let's get the outs done with first. So Casal, rejected. He'll be staying with us. Scout meeting suggesting a very good young centre-half from Real Madrid, although his scout report is not matched by his actual ability. But let's meet Emre. 3-star centre midfielder, only 26, 24 million. This looks a little better, unless he's like Rayan Cherki last year. He is okay, maybe not the best stamina or physically, but a very good footballer, can play in the number 10 role naturally, so probably an actual replacement for Cherki. We've just got to find a way to fit him in the squad. Who are we going to leave out? Let's see if he joins. Good deal though, and for a younger player, I'm happy enough. Offer accepted for Emre Uzun, 24 million plus an after league appearances fee, 76 grand a week squad player, so definitely a sign that he's trying to be a bit more sensible in the market and not just splashing the cash like he did last year on the likes of Voloshin and Cherki, to be fair to him. So progress is definitely being made. Let's see if he comes in. Be a good finish to the squad. I'm going to have to upset someone then. Well, 4 hours to go, and the problem might be resolving itself. There are loan offers for Voloshin, and Emre has now joined. What's going to happen? Has one of these been accepted? Surely. They've not been answered. Oh, hang on a minute. He's in charge of all the transfers, Murtow, but he's not done anything with the deal. So they're both there for me to answer, which defeats the object of the head coach. So I'm going to be forced into action here, and I'll just accept the highest one because I presume that's what he would have done. But I find it really frustrating when things like that happen. It's definitely better this year on when deals are negotiated and bits like that, but still a few little chinks in the armour. If we can get the wage bill off though, it will definitely be a good sign. A waste of a £50 million signing from last year though, as Emre joins the club. 26 years of age. He is 3-star ability, 3-star potential, needs to learn the language, and we're going to swap him in the squad for Voloshin on the assumption that he'll be leaving the club before the end of the day. And that leaves us with a more balanced squad and probably a stronger squad than we were expecting. And that sort of suggests a sign of preparation ahead of Bruno Fernandes leaving next summer. So Rashford, you can welcome him. And it's been a busier deadline day than we thought. Didn't expect to see a player coming into the club. 3 hours to go. Another loan offer for a youngster. Redmond again, this time rejected from Peterborough. but I don't see anything big happening now. Unless the Voloshin loan gets agreed, I can't see much more in the last 3 hours. 1 hour remaining. We've had another rejected loan bid for Redmond the youngster. This time it was Peterborough who tried to get him. Crystal Palace make a late loan bid for Johnny on a terrible wage again. But a bit of a last-ditch attempt from them there. And Voloshin has gone to Ajax. The deal that we were forced to accept because nothing was being done by the director of football. So frustratingly, we've taken the punt we thought they would with the player on the transfer and loan list. And he goes off to Ajax for the rest of the season, which gives us a nice rounded 25-man squad again. 1 hour left. I can't see anything happening now. Let's just get to the end and reflect on the day. And there we go. The day is over. We did have one deadline day signing and a couple of outs. We'll look at them in a moment. In terms of wage expenditure, we've actually got closer to 4th place Arsenal than we have to 2nd place City, which is a real sign of intent moving forward. In terms of the roundup, no big stars for us apart from the most players out, but we didn't spend a huge amount this year. Definitely a change in tact from our director of football. In terms of the ins, we saw Emre Uzun join the club, a centre midfielder on deadline day, Xavier Benjamin just before from Fulham, a centre half, and Tom Patois, a third choice goalkeeper from Sampdoria. That all in the last week of the window. In terms of outs on deadline day, 3 first team players left the club. Ryan Cherky to Lyon for £20 million. He somehow made a profit on him. Ben White for £4 million to Ajax, and Nazar Voloshin on loan to Ajax too. But this time we were forced to accept the deal as the director of football didn't do what he was supposed to be doing. But overall, with the 1-0 win at West Ham, that is a pretty good episode by my reckoning. I'm going to come back, I think, for the Juventus and Manchester City doubleheader at the end of September. Looks like City are going to be the front runners in the title race. Juve a massive game away in a Champions League. So if you're looking forward to that one and you did enjoy this episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 videos from 2 long-term stories. Big transfer deadline date, this time from the January window in the Hemel Hempstead save tomorrow. We're in all worlds of trouble over there. And you can find links in the eye above to the Twitch channel and the football podcast for regular content too. But above my head now, I'll put the start of the latest Hemel season. Thank you for watching as always. I'll see you next time for a Champions League return and one hell of a Manchester derby.